not much. Somewhere a couple years later, when I actually started getting somewhat ambitious, that little 3x5 card became a Word document, like a word processing document.
Right. Yep.
Now now that I would start my entire month day by day, right? Because I knew where I wanted to go. So I would, I know I need to do X, Y, Z to get there. So I would just I can tell you right now, just last week, I wrote out my entire monthly schedule for September, October, September through January, or through December, actually. But underneath that, I have, here's what I want to do in 2020. Here's what I want to do in 2021. Some of them are very far out there, and I don't really worry about them. I just worry about the things I can control, like day by day. I can, right now, I'm writing a new book about branding. So I write that down. Okay, I'm going to edit this 12 chapters of this today, and then tomorrow the next 12 chapters, and then I think the next day after that I have to make some videos or something. But my point is, I know where I want to do, what I want to get accomplished, and I just write it down as far in advance as I can, day by day by day, what I need to do to get there. And the more you can write that out in advance, I think the better it is.
So has this always been you, or did this come from somebody that you picked this up from?
It just kind of happened. Originally, I used to love just having a 3x5 card for the week, but now I can tell you right now. In fact, let me open this real quick, because I started this Word doc. It's actually just a word processor. It's not even Word. It's not even Microsoft Word. It's like Bean in the Mac program. It is literally. I started. Let's see. It's at 246 pages. And I started it on October 5th, 2015. So I have 246 pages, and every time I finish a day, I just cross out whatever I did using the strike through. And I don't know why I keep all these from 3 years ago. I don't need to, but it does show you that it's a very long-term thing, that it's going to go on forever. This thing will be 2,000 pages someday, hopefully. And so that's the thing. I think it's just a matter of, you want to get to a certain place. Okay, so figure out what steps you got to do to get there, write it down, what your day-to-day, what you need to do to get there. And I also find it very, very helpful to not cram the schedule with too much to do, but to almost make your day too easy. And then you find yourself skipping ahead to the next day. At least that's the trick I play on myself.
That's an interesting, and I'll tell you why I asked this, because, in some of the other things that you have written, you talked about how folks need to consider long-term having, not only an email list, but also a snail mail list, and for obvious reasons, right? But that takes some planning, because you've got to be able to, give somebody something that they'll want to, give you their mailing address for, and then a reason to mail them. And I know that's where a lot of us are not there at this point, and that's probably going to take, a year horizon, maybe 6 months to a year, to try to think out that far. So can you go back to, you were at some point, you were online primarily, is that right? And then you made a decision to do a newsletter, physical. So what was that?
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you what, this is very interesting, because this seems to be coming up over and over and over today. So this is very timely. It really comes down to sometime, I think it was 2007. Now we're really going back there. But I was writing articles actually for this one client. This guy who teamed up with Pete the printer, who's like Dan Kennedy's business partner. I didn't get paid jack shit. Okay, I only did it because the reason I did it is because I knew it was to sell packaged Dan Kennedy No BS newsletter. And so, of course, they had to send me these in order for me to write articles about them. So it was like getting stuff I couldn't find anywhere else, and I didn't have to pay for it. I got paid for it. So one thing he taught in that, I'll never forget this, because it changed my entire mindset on all this stuff. And then I'll tell you how this is even more reinforced as of recently. But one thing he said, he goes, you have to...